and I've been charged with navigating. So I'll just turn you round. We've been on this road for around 40 minutes. You can see there's not much in the way of any road surface or civilization, so to speak. Yeah, I'm not allowed to navigate no more, am I?
So what comes from this is, don't let Jared do the navigating, because we've been like, I mean, they were chasing us with pitchforks down part of that road, so where the hell, I have absolutely no idea where we are, what we're doing. Well, welcome to another video. This is day one of the return to Glaskogen National Park in Sweden. So we just dropped Rod and Gary back off at the airport, and we're now going to make our way across the border into Sweden. Just got to drop off at a supermarket there to pick up some more supplies, and then we'll be making our way down to Glaskogen. Right, so here we are back at the spot where I think probably my fascination for Sweden and Scandinavia came from. About 10 years ago, we took a drive from the UK, me, the missus and the kids, and we came to this spot and spent a night camping here, and it's sort of just, I don't know, it's just hit me, and I just come back here every single time, and it's nice to come back and sort of reminisce, you know, when the kids were small, before they were drinking and being annoying little gits. But it's nice to come back here. So this is Övre Glå that we're at now. So this is the upper glass, as it translates to, because Glaskogen means glass forest. So, and it's basically down to the lakes that are around the area here. So we're just going to drive down to the tourist centre down there, get our camping and our fishing cards down there, do a bit of a kit sort of swap out, and then we're going to head out onto Stora Glå. That's the plan today, and it's a lake that I haven't paddled. It's twice the size of this one here that we've got here, Övre Glå, and go find a spot there, and then we'll do another route back round back to the visitor centre. I came here a couple of years ago with Matty, and we done a section of Glaskogen, and we didn't even touch the sides with it. It's a massive park, so me and Jared have come back to explore a little bit different, explore some new areas as well, so really looking forward to it. So we've done a big shop, we've got absolutely tons of food for the duration. I don't know how we're going to get it all in our bags, I really don't, but it's going to be nice just to get up there, get everything in the water and just head out. We've got a little bit of surface shop on the lake there, but nothing massive. We'll be able to handle that until we can find a place for a camp tonight. Right then, should we saddle up?
Go on then.
Well, this is a bonus. We've got our fishing cards, we've got our camping cards. The guy there is really helpful. He's actually pointed us to our first hut, which we were going to walk 6k to, and he says, no, you can drive down there. So we're now going to drive down there and leave the car, and it opens up a whole new aspect of this fishing and packrafting on this park here. So yeah, looking forward to it. At least we haven't got a 6-7k walk, and then we could go and spend the night in the hut down there and sort out all of our gear, because everything's still wet from that dank hole we were sleeping in Norway. So yeah, brilliant, absolutely brilliant, really helpful guys down there. So big thank you to the guys that were in the hut there. Absolutely brilliant. Right, let's go. So here we are, we just parked the car up. We're literally right next door to the hut here, and it's an absolute beautiful lake. There's a couple of people there, and they're happy enough for us to camp in the area. You know, the whole thing about this, the concept of, you know, free love to live as it is in Scandinavian, is nature is for everyone. and we're just going to sit and spend the evening down there with those and have a cook up and have a chat and everything. And that's the one thing I love about it, is the people that you meet with it when you come out to these places. So anyway, right, we've got all of this stuff all in flight bag still, so we need to sort all of that out and then make our way down there. And you wait till you see what we're cooking up. It's going to be an absolute storm.
Last time I bought mustard, and he is also known in Germany. So
Yeah, that's good. Jared with his Iron Age tools.
Just tore it apart right now.
it's amazing when you meet.
I'll just put them in here for the minute.
Amy's piece. One for me.
Cleaning with cover.
We're cleaning that.
Right, well there we go. Dinner is served. We're going to have this, and I think we'll get out on the water and have a bit of fish. See whether we can catch anything out of here. But you know what my record's like. Alright. We've left Jared washing up. Let's throw some lures. Well, nothing on the fishing. Me and Damien have been out for a little bash around the lake. Absolutely nothing. One little follow off a little pike, but that was it. But what an absolute beautiful, beautiful evening this is. It's absolutely gorgeous. Right, morning. Now you can see why this place is called Glaskogen, as in glass forest, when you've got lakes that reflect like glass like this. What an absolute beautiful morning. Right, so we just woke up. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning, and this is day 2 of our Glaskogen packrafting and fishing trip. So we're going to spend the day on this site here. We only just got here yesterday. We've got a bit of admin to do because we were in Norway the week before. So there's a few things that need washing, a few things that need sorting out. So as it's an absolute cracking day here and a beautiful, beautiful lake, we're going to stop here for tonight. So we're just going to spend the day just doing what we need to do around camp here. I'm going to be out on the packraft doing a bit of fishing and whatnot. But first, let's get a brew on. Right then, so we just said goodbye to our compatriots for last night. Really pleasure to be spending the night sit there just having a chat and just discussing the world and everything. And that's what these things are really great at, you know. That's what, you know, nature is for everyone. And to come and stay in one of these huts with these people has been absolutely brilliant. So just done a bit of camp admin, just got everything dried out as it's such a nice day from that deluge that we had over in Norway. Done a bit of admin, got all my kit all sorted out. So we're going to be heading off tomorrow. So we're just having a bit of a 0 day, just sorting ourselves out. We're going to go out and explore the lake. I'm going to take my fishing rod with me. So I'm paddling the MRS micro raft, which you've seen in a few videos, which is absolutely perfect for this sort of trip. You can store all of your gear inside of it and just head off on your pack rafting adventures. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful day to be out doing this sort of thing. Jared is paddling the MRS Surveyor, which is a really nice lightweight pack raft, and he's constantly he's just having a wash, as you can see. So anyway, let's get on the water and go for a bit of a paddle. Right, let's get out for a little bit of fishing and exploring. Absolutely nada, nothing. Oh, frukost, for breakfast. Oh, that's like caramel nut butter or something, isn't it? Alright, last one. A bit of the old roast reindeer squeezy cheese. Lovely old job. It's hard work, this doing nothing. So, just had some lunch, just sat here on this little tiny peninsula here. It's absolutely gorgeous. You know, I keep saying it, and I'll keep saying it through all of the videos. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's just bliss, this national park is. Right, we're going to jump back into pack rafts. I might have a bash it down a bit of fishing, but I'll probably leave that to a little bit later on, to be perfectly honest. And head back to camp and probably do a little bit of camping? Carving, actually. We're going to go back there, have a brew, and grab some wood and get the old carving knives out. There we go, one butter knife. Perfect for the Second World War German Army butter pan. So really good bit of kit. These are very difficult to get hold of, but they keep the butter really cool. If you can find one of these, I would definitely recommend that. That's the Second World War German Army butter dish. Right, well, after an afternoon of sitting here carving a new butter knife, it's been absolutely lovely. Time to have something to eat, so we just had a look at the map, planned out our route for what we're going to do for the next duration of the trip. It does cover some of the lakes that I was on last time when I was here with Matty, which isn't a bad thing really, because I know some really good camping spots and I know some pretty good fishing spots. The fishing here hasn't been very good at all. I will pop out in the boat a little bit later on just to see whether I can get anything, and then on the paddle tomorrow I'll have my rod with me as well. But now we're going to cook up some food. So we've got some elk sausages, some potatoes, some onions and some garlic to cook up. Jared's just prepped the fire just behind us here, so that's pretty much all ready. So I want to get the prep done on the veg, and let's get those snarlers on the fire. Right, all aboard the Skylark. I think we're there, boy.
Should we cut one of these sausages in half?
Yeah, have a look. See, I think they're pre-cooked. I think anyway. I think
there's 5, isn't there? So I'm just so
oh, in half? Yeah. I thought you were just going to be lardy and eat the third one.
No. Well, we shall share the lard.
Share, friends, share. Lovely old job. Alright, are you ready?
Yes, mate.
You'll have to remove your bread from your bread receptacle.
If I have to.
Love that noise.
When?
Well, here's to another cracking day. How's the bangers anyway?
Oh. Hot.
Bit of moose. It's been a while since I've eaten a bit of moose.
Back pier, yeah?
Who?
Back pier.
What?
Back pier in Yarmouth.
Back pier in Yarmouth? No, in France actually.
Oh, right.
Right, well, presently stuffed. Ugh. Let's go for a little fish, or a pretend to fish. I'm just not catching anything here at all. We'll give it a go. I haven't done any fishing further down that side of the lake there, so I think that's where we'll head today or this evening. Give it a go. Beautiful evening, absolutely beautiful. I think we've got a jack. Yeah, we got a jack. I can't get out of the weeds. Go on. he's out. Where are you? Hey, in the net. Right, we got a jack at last. So there is pike in here. Now all we've got to do is get the spinner out of him. Where are you, young man? Let's have that spinner back. Open. Oh, that's not too badly hooked. There we go. Well, a jack. So there are pike in here at last. Right, let's get another. Right, so just having a bit of a sort out and just working out what we're carrying. So I'm going to be carrying most of my main gear in my dry bag, and that's going to be on the front of my pack raft for tomorrow. And then the actual bag frame, and then the food for the both of us for the next 8 days I'm going to put inside the pack raft through the internal storage system. So on the bow I'll just have this this dry bag there, and then my chest bag, which is hanging up on my top line there, that'll just be on the front with all my electrics and all the other bits and bobs. So I think we've got enough, really. It's we've got 8 days that we're going to be doing, and just stop it. We haven't got far to go tomorrow until we find ourselves a little campsite. And then we've got a couple of wild camps. Then we will be stopping at some of the huts. Some of the sites we're going to be stopping at is outside of the national park, so we can make a fire wherever we want, you know, due to Almanzratten. So yeah, so pretty much all set up. Just got a few more bits that I need to throw in the car. The car's going to stay here, and then we'll just do a big round trip, and then we'll just have to bushwhack through just to get back to the car when we're finished. But nearly there, nearly all ready for tomorrow morning. Right, well, morning. It is another beautiful day in paradise here in Glaskogen. It's a move day today, so we're heading off further down this lake and into another lake where we're going to be wild camping later on. We're actually coming outside of the national park today, so we'll be able to make a fire out in the wilderness just as it should be. But what I thought I'd do is, just before I'm packing up, is just take you through my hammock camping setup that I'm using here. So the hammock that I'm using is the DD Hammock's frontline hammock, and the reason that I've chosen this hammock here is that it's got this mosquito net attached into it, which in this conditions that we've got here is absolutely a must. You could not hammock camp without a mosquito net in these conditions here. So the actual hammock is attached to the tree using this Dyneema cord here. So this is a really strong Dyneema cord here that can easily hold my body weight and more. And this is what is called a whoopee sling. So underneath this snake skin that we've got here. So this Dyneema cord, as you can see here, is actually threaded inside of itself through here. So this makes this fully adjustable just by pulling the weight off it. It will bite on itself, and then you can fully adjust this here. So you've got an adjustable way of adjusting your hammock when it's attached to the tree hugger. So the whoopee sling is attached to the tree hugger by literally just being pushed over a looped knot there that is held in place by that toggle there. This also gives you some really good adjustment as well. And then the mosquito net is just suspended on a piece of bungee just up onto the tree hugger. So sleep gear inside the hammock. I've got that absolutely brilliant quilt that Ginger's made for us here. It's a down quilt. It's really light, packs up to nothing. It's really warm. It's got a nice little foot box on it there. You can also just pin that together there, so you can loop that over your shoulders to keep it in place while you're in your hammock. And then underneath the hammock here, we've got this under blanket, which is literally just attached on both sides of the hammock there, and then that allows you to be cocooned here into this this like sleeping bag. If you were to use a sleeping bag inside of your hammock, what's going to happen? You're going to lay down, you're going to get compression on the bottom side of your sleeping bag. You're not going to have any insulating properties of your sleeping bag, and then your backside is going to get cold when you're swinging in the wind there. So the under blanket is a good idea. The great thing about this hammock is actually on the other side of the hammock is there is an opening, and you can actually insert a sleep mat if you want to in the inside of the hammock there. But this is an absolute brilliant bit of kit. It takes me a while to actually get comfy in it, but once you get comfy, it's just like a cocoon, and you really will sleep well. Now, tarp wise, this is the DD Hammock's super light tarp. So this is a 3 by 2.8 tarp, and it weighs about 460 grams. And it's really versatile. You've got the tie-out points in absolutely all the perfect places you want, whether you're having it in a square configuration or a triangle configuration. It works in both ways. Now this tarp is suspended by using a continuous ridge line with some soft shackles. Right, so what we've got here is we've got a prusik knot, and then we've got a soft shackle attached to that. And then we've got a good amount of line here, so you've got a fully adjustable amount of line depending on how big the trees are. That soft shackle is attached to the tarp as well, and then you can see that when you pull the prusik knot, that's going to tighten up, and then that's going to create the tension between there. And the great thing about this method is this is completely adjustable, so you can just move your tarp back and forward to get it in the right position that you want. And then just the other thing to mention, when you're guying out your tarp, try to make the line a continuation of your tag end here, so that it runs directly straight from that tag end coming out, instead of out this way or that way. So hammock camping is really versatile. You do have your limits. It is a little bit heavier if you're carrying all of this gear, especially if you're using a synthetic down under blanket. It does have its limitations. It's a lot heavier than using a really lightweight tent, a lightweight sleeping mat and a lightweight sleeping bag, but it is really nice to just flip up the side of the hammock there and just wake up to a beautiful sunrise. And it is a really comfy sleep as well. So I'll stick a link to the DD Hammock's frontline hammock and also the super light tarp in the description there. Right, it's time to get all of this packed away and get back on the water. Right, so all ready. It's so handy having that internal storage system. Got the food and all of the random stuff inside of the pack raft. Everything else on the front there. My day bag, the food for the day, my fishing stuff. I think that's time to make this adventure begin. All right, are you ready yet? All right, let's go. We're just sitting in the cut between the two lakes now, and there's an area here that looks fishy AF. So I'm just going to throw a couple of lures, see if there's anything about. Oh, and we've got a fish on straight away. Only a tiddler, but it's a fish. So there we go, little tiny perch. So for the educational part of this video, this fish in Polish is called okon, and in Swedish is called abborre. Well, there's a bit of a chop on the water on this lake, and it's coming directly to us, so we've got a pretty strong headwind. So we're going to cross right over in the centre of the lake, over to the other shore, and then we'll be in the lee of the wind, and then we can paddle down that bank of this lake. Right, so we just come over to this little island here just for a little lunch break. It looks like there's a cabin on the other side, so it's an owned island. What a fantastic thing to have, your own little island in the middle of this lake with a nice little cabin for summer fishing and winter ice fishing. How fantastic would that be? So just gonna have a little break here. We'll continue crossing over this lake so we're in the lee of the wind, because that was absolute, I wouldn't say terrible, but it was arduous coming across there. Right, let's have something to drink. So the one thing I'd recommend if you're filtering your water out here, because the water has a real danky peaty taste to it, is just stick one of these little juice squirty squash thing. I don't know where they're from. I don't know, Robinson's I think. Liddles. And just add a couple of drops of that into your water if you're drinking it like this, because it does taste a bit dank, and yes, it's safe to drink, but it's not pleasant to drink, so a little bit of that certainly helps with the palate. Legs. Who's there? So we're not going to deflate the boats to carry them down the portage there. It's going to be tricky, you know. Mine is fairly heavy because it's got the food for 7-8 days inside of it, but it's a nice day to be sitting here having some food. Are you hungry?
I'm always hungry.
Butter.
Oh yes. Spoon me.
Bread, jerky, pedo paste, knife.
This is a knife. This is a knife.
Oh. soft. Oh, I didn't get a cracker out. There's a bit of a schoolboy error, wasn't it? That's alright, I got it. I think we've got a nut juice problem. What's going on with your nuts, Jared?
I've got a shitty tube. It's definitely nut juice. Everything's been nutted on.
I can't see what's going on in the sack. Looks like an explosion. Are you ready then for this portage?
I am ready for this portage.
Right, so that's a total of 4k piggybacking those two packrafts. And my packraft weighs an absolute ton. I thought it was about 9 kilos of food in there. I'm saying it's probably about 12 kilos because I can't even pick the packraft up on my own, and that's without my bag on the top there. Right, so we're just going to get these down by the lake, have 5 minutes down there because we're both absolutely knackered. It's bright sunshine. It's super hot, as you can see here, not a cloud in the sky. Just have 5 seconds and get them all loaded up, and then we're going to start looking for a campsite for tonight.
Hey, portage, don't get packraft.
Stop pissing about.
That's better. Ooh, the G-string's gone up the bum.
That place is not the best, but if we can't find anything else, it will have to do. I'm sure we'll be able to find something else. Let's go and have another look. Well, we know we're 2 days ahead of our plan, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we are 2 days ahead, which opens up a load more stuff for us to do at the end of all of this. But there looks like a decent enough campsite up ahead there, nice and sandy, loads of space. And then we've got about, in the morning, about an hour's paddle on this lake to the portage. And then there's a portage of 600 meters into the next lake, which is only a small lake, and then an 1800 meter portage to the next lake called Asien. So we'll probably miss the small lake out completely and portage the whole thing into Asien, and then just take our time there tomorrow, spend a bit of time there. But what a cracking day. Right, well, campsite found. Not the best, but it will do, because I'm absolutely knackered. Unfortunately, we've got the wind straight onto where we're going to be camping, and it is literally just at the edge of one of those little access roads that the forests and the lakes have here. But it will do. We'll fling up the hammocks and get some food on the go, because I am starving and I'm absolutely knackered. Right then, so all set up for this evening. I feel absolutely smashed after today. That wind and the sun has turned me a new one. It really has. So it's about 11.5k we done on the lakes today. So we're going to stop here for the night, and it's going to be a topless night tonight. So I've set up my frontline hammock just between these two trees here. Looking at the weather forecast, doesn't look like there's going to be any rain, but I have a sneaking suspicion if I don't put a tarp up, it's going to rain. But hey ho, let's give it a go. So yeah, so I've just set this up between the two trees here. I'm absolutely knackered, so I'm going to have a bit of a nanny nap now. And Jared's on the food later on, so God knows what delights that will be. But yeah, absolutely knackered. A few fish on the way today, not loads, but a few. Did have a good follow from a good sized pike, but he just literally followed the spinner and was not interested at the end of it all. Right, so I'm going to have a nap and I shall see you in a bit. Salmon and pasta for this evening. Time for some grub then. I'm really not hungry considering how much we've paddled and the calories we've burnt today. I really am not that hungry. I have to force myself to eat, I think. But this is one of my favourites. Creamy salmon with pasta. So you got potato in there, peas, carrots, and then the best thing about this is the big old chunks of salmon that's inside of it. Right, so I just had myself a little nature swim, bit of a wash, feel really refreshed now. So just going to sit here, have a couple of swigs of rum, hopefully that'll sort my sore throat out, and just sit and watch and have a look at this wonderful view. Right, so that's us all fed and watered. I'm absolutely shattered. I'm going to get myself to bed, so I'll catch you in the morning. Oh, right. Good morning, sports fans. Topless camp last night, and what an absolute beautiful night's sleep it was as well. Nice bit of wind just coming in through the bay there, absolutely gorgeous. It didn't get dark as usual, so I was having to stick my hat over my eyes just to make it a bit darker, but absolute beautiful camp spot. Right, it's time to get up and at 'em, get all of this squared away and get ready for a decent bit of a walk today. Got a good bit of a portage to do. We've probably got about 700-800 meters down this lake until the portage, and then the plan is to bypass the little lake and just keep walking up that trail past that one onto the next lake, which is Asien, which is a lake I've stayed in before, and it's absolutely beautiful lake. So that's the plan today. Right, let's get a brew on and let's get all of this stuff squared away. Right, well there we go. Are we ready?
Born ready.
Are you just lubricating your nutsack?
No, so I'm using this SPF 15 lip balm by Carmax to loosen up my arms a bit.
Loosen up your arms a bit.
Yeah.
Need WD-40 on that, boy. Yeah. That's what you need.
I'm a bit all creaky in the elbows, I am.
Right, we're all done. We're all ready for set off now. We're going to leave this absolutely beautiful campsite here and make our way down the lake and get to our portage, and then we've got a good old walk. But it's still early on in the day, so we haven't got to worry too much about being mad dogs and Englishmen in the midday heat. So let's get it all on the boat and let's get away. Right then, off we go. We've got the wind with us, half a packet of cigarettes, It's dark, we're wearing sunglasses. Let's go. There's Jared promoting the G-string again. Well, there's a fish, but I didn't even know I had it on. What we got? Oh, that's a pike. Another little jack. Didn't even feel that take. Didn't even feel him take. We can hand lift him out, I think. Come on. There we are. Not a beast, only just hooked. But fish is a fish. Well, we started the day off with a fish. That's a good omen. Let's hope there's a few more and a few bigger. So we're going to pack everything away, get everything back on the bags. By the looks of the map, it's about 2 kilometers in total. I said bypassing that other little lake, there's no point, you know, packing everything up and then taking it all down to paddle, you know, a lake that's like 800 meters. So we might as well just completely bypass that. So it's time to take all of this shizzle out of this pack raft and get set up for walking. Right, there we go. All done for some land-based activity now. Look at the size of that. It doesn't feel too bad. This is quite a comfy bag to be carrying. Probably near 20 kilos. I reckon all of this is, with the water and stuff that's in the pack raft. Right, you ready? Come on. Well, a nice little walk through these tracks here in the shade. Really, really nice through here. Whew, it's warm though. Right, we've probably got about another K left before we get to the lake called Esjön. And then we'll set up the pack rafts, get ourselves in the water, and we'll have a look for a camp for today. It's still fairly early really, so it gives us a nice relaxed day once we get there. And then hopefully we can get some fish and have some fresh fish for tea. Touch wood. Or a bit of sweaty bacon that's been in the bag for 3 days now. Right, not a moment too sooner. I am very, very warm. Here we are at Esjön. Esjön, whatever it's pronounced. Right then, off we go. Should we go have a look at that island first then? Yeah. Right, well, we have absolutely lucked out on this campsite here. It's absolutely gorgeous. So we're on a little peninsula just jutting out of the lake here. We did have a look at a campsite on an island over there, but this one looks absolutely brilliant, and I think it'll be another topless night here again because it's absolutely gorgeous here today. Just double check on the weather. Right, we'll get all these boats pulled up, we'll get all of the gear out, get the hammocks all set up, and let's get set up for an absolute beautiful afternoon. I'm looking forward to getting back on the lake and hopefully, fingers crossed, a fish for tea. Well, what an absolute beautiful afternoon. Just had a bit of a wash, washed a few clothes out, and then I just thought, what better thing to do than sit in your pants and do a bit of float fishing. This is something I haven't done for a long while, and it certainly takes you back to those days as a kid, sitting there with a tiny little rod, catching roach all day. But Slater's Pit is a bit different to this what we've got here today, and we've got a bite already. And there we go, we got a fish.
Slow fishing time.
And it's a roach. Typical. Absolutely typical. But when there's roach, there's pike, and there's definitely some big perch, which is what would be nice to have. Now, we were thinking earlier on about food and what to do food wise. Now, catching a fish and cooking it on an open fire is what we came out here to do. But we've got so much food with us, and then our last day we've got about a 7k walk, so the idea is probably just to drop the food down as much as we can, and then make it a little bit easier for that last walk back to the car there. But what an absolute beautiful spot this is. Absolutely gorgeous. It takes a bit of time to get to, but it's well worth it. Well worth it. And what an absolute fantastic day to be sitting in your pants float fishing. Turkish. So we're going to bread these great big chunks of bacon that we've got. So I always take that powdered egg with me, which is pretty handy to use. And then what I've got is just one of my fire tubs there with just a tiny tad of water inside of that. And then what we're going to do, just to make the egg, I'm just going to take a good heaped teaspoon of that dried egg and just put that in there, and then stick the lid back on the top, and then that just needs a bloody good shake. Right, next let's make the coating. So a bag of breadcrumbs, I'll just stick a load of breadcrumbs in that dish, a bit of flour, so it's roughly about half and half. Have a dabble of Old Bay spice, good amount in there, and then just to finish it off, a pinch of salt. So in with the egg. You know, a wonderful mix. Here we go. Oh, I don't know what this is going to be like, but we'll see. Where's your plate? Is that yours there?
Yeah, more of a bowl, like a dog.
Let's see what these spuds are like. Let's have a bit of flesh. Some onion.
I get bit by ants.
Well, there we go. That looks absolutely spot on. See how the tater is. Cooked to perfection. Have we actually eaten anything today?
No, I don't think
We haven't eaten anything.
No. Going to DKA.
Well, I'm stuffed after that, and it's what, 6 o'clock, and yeah, stuffed, and it's still absolutely roasting. So I'm gonna get down to as nature made me, go for a swim, go sit in a hammock, listen to a little bit of my book for a little while, and then we'll relight that fire for this evening, I think. Right, time to take you on a nature swim. Don't worry, nothing needs to be censored. It is just so amazing to be out here, it really is. Swimming butt naked in a lake where there's no one else around apart from him up there. But what a beautiful, beautiful place. And this is why I keep coming back, because it is just so amazing.
Nearly lost my nut, Tim.
Look at him. What an absolute clonking fish. Something's got it. I see him come in from miles away. What we got here? Oh, it's a perch. go. Ooh. They certainly like this rigged and ready spinner.
Not bad size little fish.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's the sort of size you find
In the UK, isn't it?
in the Broads regularly. Right, bit of grub. Time to get all this stuff on our back. There's a little sign here that says 500, so I'm wondering whether this portage is 500. I can't remember how long it is really. I know it wasn't that far to go, but a nice wooden walkway pretty much all of the way to Fish Hole. So let's hope it is still Fish Hole. Certainly nicer the days go by. Everything gets lighter and easier to carry. Right, well that's the boats up the top there. So we now just got this short little uphill walk to the lake with all of this gear. Great little view of the bike park and Jared's trousers that are about to fall down. They seriously are coming down. Well, here we are on Fish Hole. I'm just going to filter some water. Absolutely knackered after that hike up the hill. Right, let's bosh this bareback because I'm really thirsty. Just the aftertaste that does it. Right, let's go catch some fish. Right, there's nothing here. I had really high hopes for this today, but there's just nothing biting at all. Never mind, we had a few fish earlier on, so we're going to make our way to the next lake, which is where our hut is for this evening, and have something to eat because I am pretty hungry actually. Well, this is a Jared tour, this one, isn't it?
What way are we meant to go?
Over the side there, but this is fine.
What side?
Just hop over, but this is fine. This will do us. We're just coming up to the hut that we're going to stop at tonight, and you can see a couple of big canoes. I think it's about 4 people stopping here. They've got tents and things up, so I think they're stopping here tonight, so I don't think we'll stop here. So I think what we'll do is we'll just have some lunch, and we'll probably walk our way back to Lillungen hut, which is quite a distance. It's only about 1:30 at the moment, but we'll have some lunch and then we'll decide what we're going to do from there. Alright, so we just had lunch at this hut here. Now there's a German family that are stopping here tonight, so we're not going to invade their space. So what we're going to do, we've just had a little bit of a conflab and worked out what we're going to get up to. So we're going to pack up all of the packrafts, go land-based. We're going to make our way back to Lillungen and stop there for this evening, and then we'll have a little bit of a chat to see what we're going to get up to, because we were going to stop here and then make our way away. So it's just adapting plans really to what it is. We don't want to invade their space here. There's a whole family here. Right, let's get all this packed away and start making a move across the trails down to Lillungen. Well, at least it isn't absolutely bright sunshine. It's not too bad. It's nice that the bags are getting lighter as well, but still not light enough. Huh? There's a few blueberries that are ripe. Oh, they are fine. Oh, there's a whole bush here.
The whole thing is a bush.
Can we just like forage for like 7 hours here?
You know what I am going to do?
What, put them in your drink?
Put them in my drink.
Try and
Squish them and drink them.
make the bloody
Where's
water
my nut
taste better.
pot?
4.5k done with a little bit of a detour. Just got a little bit of walk along the road here, and then we're down to tonight's hut.
Oh, it's fun. Let's go.
Back on Le Long again. It's been a while since I've been here. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful spot it is. We've literally just got here. There's a couple of German guys here as well, just sitting, going through the map and everything. So this is going to be tonight's campsite. It's absolutely beautiful down here. The only issue is access down to the water to wash and stuff like that is not very good. I remember walking down there and it was just like a mud fest. So you actually need to just follow the trail back around, and then there's a beautiful, beautiful beach just over yonder for a swim over there. It's absolutely beautiful. Right, anyway, I'm going to get my stuff out, get set up and get some blooming clean clothes on. Right, well there we go, all set up for the evening. Put the tarps up this evening. There's some rain forecast for early hours in the morning, so I don't fancy getting up and putting a tarp up halfway through the night. I would be lying if I would say that I am not knackered after that. I am absolutely foobarred. Every single part of me aches after that hike through there, carrying all of that gear. So it's going to be just a restock on water, something little to eat. I'll probably have a little soup or something, and a couple of cocodamol, and I will catch you in the morning. Right, well, morning. I slept like an absolute log last night after yesterday's great escape, shall we say, from the German in pyjamas. But yeah, so really random that when we came to this hut yesterday, there's a couple of guys sat here, and it actually transpires it's the same guy I met 2 years ago further down on the lake as we were crossing over to go on to Asien. And I must say that I did say in my previous video that he told us it was all downhill and it was uphill, but we were talking about two different areas. So yeah, great to see you again, Danny, and brilliant to get your contact details, and yes, we will definitely look you up in Bavaria as soon as we can. As you can guess, it's a very wet day today, so it was forecast to rain pretty much from about midnight through to about 9 o'clock this morning. It's about 10 o'clock now, and it's still coming and going at the moment. So the plan for today is to set up the pack rafts and paddle down the lake to the next campsite further down there. But obviously we're going to wait for the weather to hold out, so I'm going to get a brew on and just sit and just watch this absolutely beautiful vista from this little hut number 28. We were just sitting here discussing what we'd like to eat, and we both said pierogi, and I think we might be able to field make some pierogi. I think we've got enough ingredients. Probably only going to I think there's only going to be about 2 per person, but let's see whether we can have a bash at making some pierogi.
Step 1, dice potatoes.
Step 2, slice and fry 1 onion. And then once the onions have softened and browned, or gone black in this case. Just take them off the heat and just leave them to rest. Right, so next step is the pastry. So we've got some plain flour and we've got some dried egg. Add a heaped teaspoon of dried egg into that little bowl, and then a little bit of water. And then shake that thing. So we've got our flour into the bowl, pinch of salt, add a little bit of butter, it should be oil, but we'll put butter in. Put equivalent of 1 egg into there, and a little bit of water. Now it's time to get dirty. Right, and then once you've got your dough, just make sure it's kneaded really, really well. And then you need a rolling pin and a rolling board, which we don't have, so we're going to improvise. Once the dough's done, we're just going to put it in that little box. Just keep that to one side.
Boil your potatoes over an open fire. Next step, drain the kartoffel. Next, add your onion to your kartoffel. Finally adding reindeer cheese, Brucht Ren, I think I pronounced it right, into your mixture of potatoes and oil. Next stage is to boil some water in a saucepan, but as we're doing real field meals, we've got rainwater a la saucepan. So pour that into there and add a small amount of salts.
And next, take small amounts of your dough and make into tiny little circles, roughly with a rolling pin and a board, but needs must, like so. And then with the dough, we take a bit of the mixture, lay it into the center, and then fold over into the top. Squeeze the sides up, and then dodgy pierogi. Once your water's boiling, just drop your pierogi in. Alright, and then once they're all in the pan, just make sure they're not stuck to the bottom, and then just give them about 10 minutes on a rolling boil.
So we're going to fry our pierogi. You can have them just boiled, but we're going to fry ours in a pig fat. Pig fat on.
Right, all done. Let's see how they go. Not bad for random stuff out of the bag, really, I don't think.
Bag pierogi. Thank you.
Voila. Salty pepper.
Dankeschön, mein Freund.
Pepper.
Oui. Ja.
It's blowing in the wind.
Pepper in the leg. Right, let's give it a go.
Let me know how random stuff from the bag has worked out.
Stuff in my bag 2.0.
Oh, look at that. Sun's come out. Pierogi over the fire. Let's see how they come out. Not too bad, I don't think, for random stuff left in the bag. They are good. Shame about the burnt bits of meat in the pierogi on the smollets, but
beggars can't be choosers.
All adds to the flavour. Smacznego.
Smacznego.
Right, well I'm stuffed after that. So one thing about pierogi, they definitely fill you up. And the sun's just come out, so perfect time to get ourselves all, just let the tarps and whatnot dry out. And then we're going to pack away. And then we're heading down yonder, just at that next point, just down there. There's a little hut just behind there, and that's where we're going to spend today, just having a bit of a relax. But what a cracking bit of food made out of just random stuff in the bag. Got rid of a lot of weight as well. Right then, who's washing up?
That'll be me.
It's always the chef's priority, isn't it? Chef never washes up. Right, so pretty much ready to go. It looks a bit black over at Will's mum's, and hence the reason I've put the spray deck on as well, because I've got a feeling we're going to get caught out in some rain as we're paddling down there, but not too far to go. That's the best thing about this one here. We've literally just got to get to just the point just down there for the rest of the day, and then we can just set up camp for the rest of the day, have a bit of a wash because I'm starting to stink, and yeah, just enjoy the day. Right, let's go.
Onward. Right, as you can see, there's a bit of a headwind, so I've got my spray deck on. And just as we were then leaving, we bumped into the German girl and the Polish guy that we met the first night. And Jared done a bit of wound cleaning on one of them. And we got or Jared, should I say, got a bottle of vodka and some biscuits. So I think once we get through this headwind, we'll have some biscuits, because this is not nice. It's not that we've got miles to go, but it's definitely a headwind. Right, a little break in the lee. I'm knackered. Absolutely knackered. Well, another good bit of navigating by us there. We've gone completely past it. But at least paddle into this one now. We haven't got the wind. I thought it was further up. I sort of remembered those rocks there. But we paddled right past it. Right then, so here we are at hut number 32. Let's take you in and show you what it's like. Oh.
Just remember, if you're doing this sort of washing, just make sure you got biodegradable soap. Making there now?
So I'm sick of pond water, so I've spent the afternoon rendering down blueberries I found in the bush, and I've made a squash which will also go quite nicely with vodka that I got for attending to some male's broken foot earlier in the day.
You said broken foot.
Oh, well, I needed to make sure. So yeah, hopefully this tastes really nice and it will just shake the edge off the pond water that we've been drinking for 2 weeks. So hashtag Raymears.
Well, I don't know where the day's gone. It's now blooming 1900 and I thought it was about 1600. I really have lost half the day today. I mean, we did get up quite late after Pierogi session this morning by the time we left, and we had a bit of a hell of a headwind getting up here today. Beautiful, beautiful campsite here. Really nice view. The hammocks are all up and everything. It's going to be a noisy one because it's quite windy, and with the wind pushing on the tarps and stuff. It's still a little bit black over yonder, but it's not forecast to rain. So hopefully it's going to be a decent night. So we're just going to sit here. We've got a bottle of vodka that's been given to us from the couple that we met earlier on, so we're going to have a snazzle on that. I've got a bag of cheese crunchers, which are one of my favourites. I always get whenever I come over to Sweden, and we're just going to sit in the hut behind us here and play a couple of hands of cards. We're away early in the morning. We're following the trail just up there. We've got about 5-6k hike to do tomorrow from here. So morning, we've got to pack all of the packrafting gear up and then make way on our feet for tomorrow. And where we'll be going back to the first camp that we were at, where we've left the car, and then we'll spend the night there, and then from there I think we'll probably head up onto Överglå before we make our way back to Oslo with the car for our flight home. This has been an amazing trip. You know, I've been out here once before, and people say, well, why don't you go somewhere else? But it's just beautiful, and then when you know an area, and to be honest, I mean, I've hardly touched the sides on this. I mean, we've done a few other lakes this time than what I'd done the first time when I come out here, and still hardly touched the sides. There's still loads and loads of lakes and areas and huts as well to visit, but it's nice to come back to this one because this is one of my favourites. This is here. Right, Harris, I reckon it's time for the vodka and the cards. Right, let's see who wins at the cards and then has to do the washing up. Well, morning. I'd like to say that was an absolute beautiful night's sleep, but as you can guess by the way that this wind is, it was not a beautiful sleep at all. It was very, very windy. Started raining about 2 o'clock in the morning, and it just kept me awake till about 3:30. As you can just see, it's just battering the sides of the tarp there. And I set the tarp up really, really tight to the apex of the tarp there, just because in case it rained, I didn't want anything getting wet. But the only problem with that is the tarp's hitting the side of the hammock all the time. So in this sort of condition, you want to drop your hammock down as low as you can, really, so you're not getting battered by your tarp, or place it in the wind where you're not sort of side on to the wind. But then the only problem that you've got is then if your feet first to the wind, you've got all of that wind drawing down through the hammock and getting you really, really cold. Right, as you can see, it is still blowing an absolute hoolie, so we're completely winded out today. We're not paddling today. So the plan for today is a bit of coffee, bit of breakfast, and then we've got a 2.7k hike along a trail here, where we then need to be going a little bit off piste for about 600 meters by the looks of the map, so we can get back to the initial campsite where we started, and then that's where the car is, and then we can just get some more food out of the car and stuff. We're going to spend a night at that campsite there, because I do fancy having another bash at fishing around that campsite, and it was a beautiful place to stay. And that's the plan for today. And then tomorrow we're going to head over to Överglå and just spend a night and just recap on what we've actually done over there. So without further ado, we're going to get some breakfast on the go, get some coffee done, and start to pack up and make our way. This bag really hasn't changed its weight at all, to be honest, but it's still really comfy to wear. Right, so off we go, 2.7k to do along this trail, and then a bit of off-piste, back to the car and back to that absolutely glorious hut down there on the other lake where we were on the first day. Auf Wiedersehen! Right, off we go. So this trail that we're on here, it takes you to a small little lake. It's a lake that when we stopped here a couple of years ago, me and Matty took a walk up here and had a bit of a fish. Beautiful, beautiful lake. Loads and loads of signs of moose around. Not so great on the fishing, but a really good little lake. And that's the great thing about a lot of these huts, is that they are accessible by trail as well as by water. But if I remember rightly, this one's got quite a bit of uphill. Perfect when you're carrying this amount of weight. I wonder what that was back in the day. This is a beautiful part of the forest. It's like moosey as hell. There's tracks, there's scat, but very unlikely to see one. Right, let's just see the winch face. Here we are.
Oh, this is a bit, is it?
This is it.
Not that way?
Not that way, no. Right, here we go. Back on the trail. I can't wait to get on that trail again. So we are completely off piste now, so we're just using the map on the phone and the GPS on the Outdoor Active app, which is an absolute amazing app for doing this sort of stuff. It's not, you know, you shouldn't be relying on it. I've got a map, I've got a compass in my pocket there, but it's really handy. And it looks like at the bottom of the gradient that we were planning to follow, there is an old sort of service road, sort of forestry road that we found. Hopefully that's going to lead us straight to the car park, to the car. And then we've had a little bit of a change of plan, so we're not going to stop at the same hut that we were on the first day, because we've already been there. We're going to head straight over to Överglå, minus or with a couple of stops on the way just to get some stuff. Look at this absolutely beautiful portage here. Let's pick him. Look at that. He's been munched a little bit. Penny bun in English. Podjibik po polsku. But not podjibik, prajivik, sorry. But yeah, really good eating fungi, that one is. Well past its sell by date. Now I just need to try and stand up. bushes there. So we're just following through a bit of a squelchy bog at the moment, which is only a little bit. Right, taking a break in Midgefest is not really the best thing to do, but I'm knackered. I think we've probably got about 50 metres. We're not far at all, can't see it, but we are in the thick of the forest at the minute. I'll just have 5 minutes and then we'll get to the last bit of the road, and then we've just got a tiny little bit to walk up, but we've got to bushwhack through all of this. Look, I found me a hole. Right,
Bushwhack.
there we go. Not too bad. Thank the world for GPS and outdoor active. Right, just a short walk up this track, back to the car. Lupins! Right, and here we are. So it's about midday and we made it back to the car. It's still got 4 wheels on it. Right, up to the tourist station and let's restock on some Nat's Piss beer. Now time to try and find the key. No more dank water. No more pond flavoured. Oh, it's cold and it doesn't taste of peat. Right, quick little restock there. We've got a few bits for tonight. We're now going to make our way over to Overglaw. Leave the car just outside the hut there. Walk onto the peninsula. There's a little beautiful I don't know what the weather's going to be like there. I think the wind is going to be coming off the shore where we are, so we might be okay. So jump in the car, 5 minutes. How's that water?
You don't want to know. Skål.
Right, so restocked with plenty of supplies. So we're just going to walk across the road and park the car behind us here. We've got about half a k just down this track out onto this peninsula. Lovely little spot. I'm hoping it's going to be in the lee. If I remember rightly, we might have a little bit of wind just with the way it is. And 2 days of just sitting and chilling by the lake. Looking forward to it. After all of that walk, it's nice just to have a bit of break and just relax and just have a little bit of downtime, do a bit of fishing, maybe a bit of pack rafting, but it is blown out. We're windbound on it today, but we've got a good bit of supplies for us, and looking forward to just relaxing and unwinding after that. Oh, and drying my socks out. Look at this little bad boy down here. I don't know whether you can see him. He's a little slow worm just down there. Right, so we've found a spot for tonight. So we're just up from the hut, and as usual there's a German family at the hut, but they're just stopping here tonight, and then we shall invade when they leave tomorrow morning. So we're just going to set up at this little spot here. It's absolutely beautiful. Right, so we found a little spot for the night. So we're just up from the hut, which is just further down yonder, and as always there's a German family there, but they're only stopping here tonight, so then we shall go and invade tomorrow and take over that little spot there. It's a little bit windy just up here. We are protected a little bit by because we are in the lee of the wind, but it will be a windy night. There's no rain forecast or anything, so it's going to be hopefully a topless night. Can of Nat's Piss.
Thank you.
Oh, I've got to get in here first. There we are. Right, well cheers anyway.
Yeah, cheers mate.
What's it like over in your corner?
It's nice in my corner.
This is a beautiful, beautiful campsite. This was one of my favourite ones that we'd done a couple of years ago. You know, you're on this little sort of like peninsula. The hut's just further, just down there, but it's absolutely beautiful, beautiful view all the way around. So it's nice just to spend a couple of days,
Yeah.
drinking Nat's Piss. Skål.
Skål. Oh, that's going to hit me hard at 3.5%. That is.
I'm just glad I got 4 of them.
Yeah. I'm glad I got my orange squash as well.
Orange squash.
Well, my orange fizzy whizzy. Fizzy whiz. All I've done is whinge about the quality of water on this trip.
Yeah, that's all he's done is just moan. about
It's one of those things
the
though,
water
like,
tastes funny.
it's one of those things though, like you come away and it's a little, I think everyone's different on what they appreciate most from home comforts. And I think for me, it's the fact that having the ability to not have pond water every day and actually having a tap that functions.
We take it for granted.
Yeah, we do,
don't
massively.
we? Really,
And
that you turn on a tap and there's,
yeah,
well, I
I
wouldn't
can't
say
imagine
fresh water. It's just chlorinated water where we live, isn't it?
I can't imagine what it's like to have to walk 15 miles to school and pick up your family's water and it tastes like pond water. I mean, that'd be a disappointment in itself. But yeah, I mean, all I've been craving is just clean tap water, and it's just a strange expedition kind of like.
I just think you should just take up a man uphill and just put up with it and drink it.
No, I ain't
really.
putting up with that. There's some things I'll put up with. I will defecate in a tree.
In a tree.
Yeah, wow. I've done worse.
I'd like to see you climb a tree.
I did. There was a hole in the bottom of one. I have definitely gone in. And I thought, oh well, that's pure fertilizer for the tree. Which that'll be a massive Christmas tree at Christmas. But yeah, there's things you'll put up with on the trip. But clean water for me is definitely one of the things that's got me. But we've managed, and now I'm drinking Nordland's Gold.
So this stuff's only like 3.5%, because in Sweden, it's the government has a monopoly on buying alcohol. So in the supermarkets, you can only buy alcohol up to 3.5%. You have to go to a shop specifically to buy alcohol called Systembolaget. So any supermarket only serves this stuff or sells this stuff at 3.5. So you go to Systembolaget, you'll find this at 5%, exactly the same beer, but well, it's not the same beer because it don't taste like gnat's piss. But needs must, it was at the shop when we were there, and what a better place really. It's not that I want to get absolutely hammered on it, I just want to sit back, drink a few suds and eat dill chips, and then later on have some snarlers.
I'm looking forward to them.
I'm looking forward to snarlers.
And we've got mustard as well.
I think that bread looks a bit sort of carpet backing related, to be honest. But
we haven't had bread for like 9 days, so I mean, any type of carbohydrate is going to be at least a little bit better. But yeah, no, sausages, buns, and mustard.
And mustard. Now on the mustard, let me just talk to you about the mustard.
Is this beer cheese? I thought
this is beer cheese. So someone went out to Germany,
yeah.
And he says, oh, I brought you some beer cheese. I was like, oh, great, beer cheese. And he gives me this, something similar to this. And senap in Swedish and in German is mustard. And I looked at that and I says, great, thanks. You've brought me a tub or a tube of mustard all the way from Germany. Great, brilliant, well done. Well, anyway, that's the mustard story. Right, cheers everyone. We're going to sit back, crack a couple of these open and just sit and listen to those kittiwakes arguing over who has the rock over yonder. Oh, boom, thank you. Still got the remnants of last night's dinner on the end of that, I think.
There's got a lot of bird things on here. Do you want to see a trick?
What's that? Let's just get the beer cheese ready first, shall we?
That before. Thanks, mate.
These rolls are a bit small for the old. And no crunchy onions, so we've got crunchy dill chips on the top. Smacznego. I'll do actually. I'm really good. And a tin of gnat's piss.
There's probably more alcohol in this.
Ugh. job. Just going to finish off these hot dogs that we've got here, and there is a beautiful, beautiful sunset over here, but the sunset's just behind that island, just over there. So we're going to sit and drink a can of Nat's piss and wait for the sun to set. Probably got another 3 hours to go though, but hey ho. Right, well, morning to the last day in Sweden this year. I'd like to say it was a peaceful night's sleep, but as you can hear from those kittiwakes arguing over there, it wasn't very peaceful at all, but it was absolutely beautiful. Completely topless, no tarp needed last night, dry night, and the view as the sun was just, I wouldn't say setting, but literally going around the tree line there about 2 o'clock this morning was absolutely gorgeous. Right, so we're stopping in exactly the same place today. We are literally just got to go through all of the kit and everything and just sort out what we need, what we have to throw away, and get everything ready for moving or travelling back to Norway tomorrow. But before we do all of that, we're going to get the packrafts out, have a bit of explore on Överglå, and maybe do a little bit of fishing and just utilise the time that we've got in this absolutely fantastic part of Sweden. And it is an amazing, amazing place, something that is definitely worth visiting, and something that draws me back pretty much every year, really. You know, I've been here 2 times in the last 2 years and still not even touched the sides on the, you know, of the area that you've got here to visit. We've done, you know, this main lake here, and then the other lakes further down, and a few other lakes I haven't done before. But then you've still got the further side down here in Överglå, you've got Storeglå, which is a massive, massive lake. I think there's something like 28,000 hectares of land that the reserve covers. So it's a massive, massive area. Right, gonna get some breakfast, get the packraft blown out, go do a bit of exploring. Right then, last day, last chance for fishing. We're gonna head out onto Överglå and have a bash out here. It'd be nice to catch something out of here. I've only ever caught a small perch out of here, but there are some very, very big trout and pike in this lake. So off we go, leaving camp behind. We've moved camp from where we were last night. The Germans that were at the hut, they've left, so we've gone onto the hut. So I think what I'll do is I'll just paddle down here a little bit, and we'll stick a spinner on and we'll have a go with a spinner. I'd love to be able to get a trout out of here, I really would. Yes, fish! Fish! First decent fish in Överglå. Don't know what it is yet, but we'll get ready for it. Oh, it's a little jack. A little jack pike. Oh, where's he gone? He's gone right under that log. No, he's not. He's out now. Well, he gobbled that. I must say they do like their spinners more than the lures that I've found. There we go, another little jack. Alright, let's get this one unhooked. And there we go, little jack from Överglå. Well, a non-blanking day. How good is that? Right then, so that really brings us to the end of this series of videos out here in Glaskogen. It has been an absolute brilliant week. We've done loads of kilometers, we've been to loads of different places. Okay, I've been to a few places I've been to before, but this is Jared's first time out here to show him just what the park has got here. So it is coming to a close, really. This is our last night now. We're packing up tomorrow and making our way back to Oslo to fly back to good old Blighty and back to work. which we're both looking really forward to. First thing I want to go through is asked a few questions a couple of weeks ago, and I've got the questions that you've all asked here. So we'll just go through the Q&A, and then we'll do a little bit of Q&A about this little trip. So the first question was sent to me was, what does Vildmark mean? Now, I've heard it called Vildmark, I've been called Mark, I get called Mark a lot because of it. Vildmark, Vildmark, all sorts. So Vildmark is a Swedish word meaning wilderness. And I named the channel that because of this place, really. It was a trip out here about 15 years ago, I think it was, when we were visiting this area, and it was just the word, the Vildmark, that I just wanted. I like the word, and that basically, it just means wilderness, and it just says everything about what I do, what I want to do, and what I want to inspire people to do as well. Second question, why do you cook a lot of Polish food? That would be because the Trouble and Strife is from Poland, and I love Polish food. That's probably the main reason why I cook a lot of Polish food. Next question was favourite pack raft. Very difficult, really, because they've all got their good points and they've all got their uses and things, but I think realistically the pack raft that I've used today, or used on this excursion, the micro raft by MRS, I would say, is probably my favourite because it's so versatile, it's durable, and it's fairly lightweight as well. So I would say that the micro raft is probably my favourite pack raft. Best outdoor meal ever cooked for you? Definitely wasn't from the wife. I would probably say that the curry that Si cooked for us, for me and Ginge, in I think it was March or February this year, I think that's probably the best outdoor meal that's been cooked for me. Best bit of gear? I would say probably the best bit of gear is my Sawyer Mini. I think that's probably the best bit of gear that I've got, because it's just a necessity, you know. You wouldn't be able to have a decent water to drink if you didn't have something like that. Worst bit of gear?
Me?
Jared, are you ready to start walking again?
No, I found strawberries, so I'm not going anywhere.
Right then, so that really brings us to the end of this series of videos out here in Glaskogen. It has been an absolute brilliant week. We've done loads of kilometres, we've been to loads of different places. Okay, I've been to a few places I've been to before, but this is Jared's first time out here to show him just what the park has got here. So it is coming to a close, really. This is our last night now. We're packing up tomorrow and making our way back to Oslo to fly back to good old Blighty and back to work, which we're both looking really forward to. First thing I want to go through is asked a few questions a couple of weeks ago, and I've got the questions that you've all asked here. So we'll just go through the Q&A, and then we'll do a little bit of Q&A about this little trip. So the first question was sent to me was, what does Vildmark mean? Now, I've heard it called Vildmark, I've been called Mark, I get called Mark a lot because of it. Vildmark, Vildmark, all sorts. So Vildmark is a Swedish word meaning wilderness. And I named the channel that because of this place, really. It was a trip out here about 15 years ago, I think it was, when we were visiting this area, and it was just the word, the Vildmark, that I just wanted. I like the word, and that basically, it just means wilderness, and it just says everything about what I do, what I want to do, and what I want to inspire people to do as well. Second question, why do you cook a lot of Polish food? That would be because the Trouble and Strife is from Poland, and I love Polish food. That's probably the main reason why I cook a lot of Polish food. Next question was favourite pack raft. Very difficult, really, because they've all got their good points and they've all got their uses and things, but I think realistically the pack raft that I've used today, or used on this excursion, the micro raft by MRS, I would say, is probably my favourite because it's so versatile, it's durable, and it's fairly lightweight as well, so I would say that the micro raft is probably my favourite pack raft. Best outdoor meal ever cooked for you? Definitely wasn't from the wife. I would probably say that the curry that Si cooked for us, for me and Ginge, in I think it was March or February this year, I think that's probably the best outdoor meal that's been cooked for me. Best bit of gear? I would say probably the best bit of gear is my Sawyer Mini. I think that's probably the best bit of gear that I've got, because it's just a necessity, you know. You wouldn't be able to have a decent water to drink if you didn't have something like that. Worst bit of gear?
Me?
Probably my crewmate and my partner on this trip, to be perfectly honest. No, worst piece of gear, that is a really difficult one. There's been loads of bits of gear I've brought and it's just folded on me straight away as soon as you take it out of the box. I can't think of one really, worst bit of gear. Can you? No.
No, everything served a purpose, really, hasn't it?
I'll come back to that. I'll come back to worst bit of gear.
I'll have a think.
Best trip that I've done. They've all had their good points and they've all had their bad points. I liked Scotland last year. That was absolutely brilliant. I loved camping out on the sea locks there and doing the sea fishing out there. The trip that me and Jared done up to Lapland, that was pretty amazing, and this has been pretty amazing as well. So I don't really have a best trip really. I think it's the country. If you turn it into the best country, then it would definitely be Sweden, definitely. Favourite fishing rod? That would definitely be the X5 Adventure by Rigged and Ready, because that is just such a versatile rod. You can pretty much do anything with it as well. You know, your fly fishing, your fixed ball fishing. It's it is my go-to sort of travel fishing rod.
I think as a beginner as well, because I'm not a great angler, I used the Rigged and Ready rod for the first part of the trip, and for access to fishing, availability, how easy it is to set up, and with just a basic set of stuff, like I am Papa Roach, the amount of roach I did catch. But yeah, honestly, Rigged and Ready are really good for, you know, across the board, whether you're a seasoned angler or a beginner like me. They are fantastic rods to take on trips.
So cheers to Rigged and Ready. One bit of gear you always take? That's probably the spot tracker. I haven't used it this week because there's been absolutely fantastic signal here, but it's the one bit of gear that if you haven't got that ability to raise help in an emergency, then you're up the creek without a paddle, aren't you, really? And yes, I do have it with me. I haven't had to use it, you know, in an emergency, which is quite, you know, a good thing, really. But they also do come in handy if there's no signal. You can just press the OK button, just let everyone know at home that you're okay and your location. So talking about this trip, so this has been really good. I mean, I did sort of visit a few places that I did go to a couple of years ago with Matty, because they're great, because they're beautiful, you know. That's the reason I went back to them, and the fishing was bloody good there last time as well, so that's the reason we sort of went that way. But we went to a few other places I haven't been to as well, which was handy really, because that's where we pulled that absolute dog of a perch out of that lake, because I've never been to that one before. Difficultest day? I would probably say it was that hike through that bloomin' brush in that heat.
What, from Start of Glore?
No, not from Start of Glore, from
Fish Hole?
From Ursien. Yeah, from the Fishhole Lake back to Lillongen. That was the most difficult day. It was about 26 degrees, carrying all of that weight, you know, carrying all of this pack rafting stuff. And I keep saying every single year I'm going to drop my weight down, and I always think, yeah, do it this year. And in the end, you end up bringing absolutely everything with you. Well, not everything, but, you know, you certainly bring a lot of stuff, which leads me on to the next question. One bit of gear you brought and didn't use?
I bought and didn't use? My head torch. I didn't understand why I thought that was a good idea. In the land of the midnight sun, I was like, oh yeah, I'll definitely need a head torch. It might get a bit dark when I go for a wee at night. No, it didn't. It stays light all the time. If you come to Sweden, guys, don't bring a head torch during the summer months. It is pointless.
Yeah, and I brought a Yuko candle as well, especially for this trip, because I thought, well, it might be a bit sort of atmospheric to have a little candle light. No, I didn't even use that. Didn't touch that at all. Best sight of the trip. Visual sight.
Must have been the first night when we got to the first lake, and it was about midnight, and that sun was literally setting right behind all the trees, and it was red. Yeah, it was beautiful. I think all the lakes here are amazing in their own right.
They're absolutely amazing.
That first kind of night was breathtaking. Like, it was really, really good.
For me, it was probably the Dutch girl on the bike that we came across.
Did we?
Yeah, Dutch girl on the bike.
Oh, you might have come across a Dutch girl on the bike.
Yeah, because I was driving and you had your phone in your hand as usual.
Probably.
Best camp.
Um,
I'd say Asian, the wild camp we done on Asian.
yeah, with the fire pit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we done
yeah.
the jacket
That was really good. That was lovely. That was hot, but it was a beautiful sight. There's loads of nice places to stop though. Like,
everywhere.
Everywhere we stopped had its own good and bad traits, but the Asian one was probably my favourite. Like, just because of the environment.
Yeah.
The fact that we were wild camping as well. It's really nice.
What did you forget?
What did I forget? I know I forgot something.
A towel.
A towel, yes. Bring a towel. That's always really good.
Piggyback in my towel. So there's him washing his blooming crotch and drying his crotch with my towel. Yeah, lovely. What did I forget? I forgot the inflation bag from a pack raft.
Good job I didn't.
So luckily he had one for his pack raft that he was using.
So yeah, the towel exchange was more than fair, I believe. Otherwise you wouldn't have been paddling anywhere.
Worst thing about the trip, and I know exactly what you're going to say.
Oh yeah,
he's been whinging.
I've been whinging about this for days.
Absolute daily.
So for anyone who does come here, just be aware that the water tastes gank. Regardless of how much you filter it, how much you boil it, there's always that taste of peat or pond water, as I like to call it. So I think for me, going forward, if I was to come back and not whinge about the pond water all the time, I'm going to get one of those lifesaver filters with a charcoal and ceramic in it, just because the charcoal takes out the flavour as such of the water. So yeah, I think I'll definitely be bringing one of those next time I come.
Best thing about the trip? What would you say the best thing is?
I think just the ability to be away, like now, if we're quiet, all you can hear is the fire.
Yeah.
And the kitty wakes occasionally, but otherwise it's just the opportunity to refresh, reset, and just have some mindfulness and like realise that you're not a big thing in this world, and actually that, you know, there's a lot around you to enjoy, and you need to make sure that you enjoy every day for what it is. Like, that's one thing that has been really good about it. It's just the kind of a vulnerability to nature, which is really nice.
I think the thing is, like, for us as well, doing the job that we do, let's say we both work for the ambulance service, you know, we deal with a lot of traumatic stuff, stressful stuff, not major traumatic stuff. We don't see much traumatic stuff, but it's stressful, you know, not just with the hospital waits and everything that's going on, patients getting upset, families getting upset, and it's a lot of stress on us as well. And it just gives you that 2 weeks literally just to forget about the whole thing and just put into context. You sit here and you put into context, as Jared was just saying, just how minuscule we are. You know, you look at this wide vista from where we're sitting here, and it shows you just how we're nothing. We're absolutely nothing here. And it just allows me to go back and just feel so much rested to crack on onto 3 bloody nights that I've got to do as soon as I get back home.
Schoolboy era.
It's absolute schoolboy era.
But I think it's the same as like if you're working in the ambulance service or public
anything,
sector
isn't it,
or
really?
in the office or regardless of where you work, just to get out and just do something you wouldn't normally do is really good. Like, I mean, I'm sitting here carving a spoon. I've made a beaver for
He
my.
says it's a beaver, but I think it's something. I think it's for a beaver.
No, it's not. It's a beaver. It's for my little boy. All right, don't crude it up. So, little spoon and a beaver. I thought my little boy, well, my eldest boy, he can have the spoon for camp, and my littlest one, when he's here, he can have that as a little TV or a little toy. So yeah, it's just stuff that you wouldn't normally do.
I've made a whacker.
A whacker.
So yeah, it's been great. I think this area really could be opened up to the UK market so much more. You haven't seen any Brits around here at all. They're all been Poles and Germans that we've seen visiting here, and that's just down to access. But realistically, it's not that difficult to get here, really. You know, £100 flight from Stansted to Oslo, and then a car. 2.5 hours to get here in the car. Easy drive as well. You go right past a massive supermarket, as you've seen from the previous video, that you can stock all your bits and stuff on. And then for £6 a day is what it costs to be able to use these little huts, use the firewood, the toilets, and camp here. It's well worth the money. It really, really is well worth the money. So there we go. That is this end of this little trip. Thank you for watching. Thanks for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed coming along.
Yeah, it's been really good.
Whinged so much. Really,
I haven't whinged. I've been a good boy. Just the water. It's just the water. Otherwise, it's good.
So thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel, then please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And please do take a look at some of the previous videos that I've got on the channel from all of my exploits and looking at various bits of gear. And then hopefully we'll catch you next time on the next one.